It was trigger, dude. I elongate my bird like this.
Have it fully cocked out on the table, bro.
Extended bird.
Yeah, like that. Put it like by the keyboard.
Prop my bird up.
Bro, this guy at our work said he fucking broke his dick, bro.
Who?
Derek.
Derek? Oh, no, yeah. His balls.
Or his balls?
His balls. He can't have kids. When he was little, it was like a skateboard accident. Yeah, I think he was like 6 or 8. Can't remember. Yeah. He's the one who said my bird. Got my bird twitching. Got my bird giggling. It makes my bird giggle.
It says we're live, but I can't find it.
I just found it, bro. You want to send it to you?
Yeah. You found it?
Yeah, it should pop up on my shit right now.
Dang, bro. You're not like...
Look, bro.
You don't got the post notice on.
Wow. Thought you were a fan, bro.
Damn, bro.
OnlyFans? I know about that.
I know about that. How do I budget? I got $100 OnlyFans. No, $300 OnlyFans, $100 electric bill.
I was about to say, I was like, I don't know which way you're trying to go, bro. That ain't happening.
I can hear them.
It's because the audio is not plugged in.
Yeah, I like wine this morning.
This morning?
11 a.m.
What the fuck were you doing? That's a little too early, bro. The only wine you should be drinking at 11 in the morning is fucking church wine or some shit, bro. I'm pretty sure.
I was like, I'm unemployed.
I saw you post that shit yesterday, and I was like, everybody's drinking hard. I was like, everybody going to Lucas. I don't see nobody going to do anything. What else are you gonna do? Go home and drink?
I'm unemployed, and my next story was like, who's down for a photo shoot?
Oh yeah, I did see it.
I'm about to be unemployed on Monday.
Really?
Yeah, if they lock down the city.
Are they locking down the city?
Yeah.
I'm really talking about it.
I do. You know that thing Trump does where he says they're not gonna do something?
No.
It's like,
Do it a week later.
and he says he told us all. The nigga, what's his name? What's that one guy's name?
Do you want headphones all? You don't have any plugged in over here.
Yeah, I'll find some over. What's that one guy's name? Tyler at work. That nigga, one time I was at the computer and the nigga comes up behind me. He's like, I was like, what the? Bro, I started fucking dying, bro.
You don't expect it from him.
I was like, yeah. I was like, bro. Everybody just didn't do this shit.
Well, it's so weird not seeing your coworkers for like this long, because you see them every fucking day, and then like,
Yeah.
you stop. It's like, what the fuck?
This is kind of, yeah.
This is kind of weird. Like, I saw Yuri in his Mini Cooper today.
Yeah.
I didn't say hi.
Did you get that?
Yeah, it's from his phone.
Oh.
You see him every fucking day.
Oh shit.
It's picking up the wrong mic.
I saw Yuri today. I didn't say hi. I didn't.
I don't really want a job right now. How that works? It's live?
Live.
Is it?
Live.
Bird o'clock.
Bird o'clock.
how dusty this fucking keyboard is.
Last time we used
Do
it.
you want to look at it?
A year ago. No, it's fine.
Dylan, you look like a wet wipe.
You are a wet wipe.
Off-brand wet wipe.
Hey, can you Lola, can you click the thumbnail scene? Just so it's highlighted blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can switch cameras. So we're live right now, right?
Yeah, fucking guess so.
Should I put my headphones? That would help, right?
Yeah. Just make sure when you We're live.
Oh shit, we're live.
Oh shit.
Let's flip to it like really quickly. My man, we're gonna do this on camera. Dapping out on camera. Corona. Spread it. Elvis Jahuey, spelled with a Y. Spelled with a J.
There's only 3 people in the building. Don't shut us down.
Yeah, we're not over the limit right now. If only we were. Elvis, what did you say? You're going full pigeon? Is that what you called it?
Full bird.
Full bird.
Extendo bird.
Extendo bird.
Elvis, tell us who you are. Tell us about you. What do you do?
What the hell do I do? You know, I always ask people, like, you know, who are you? And nobody ever asks me who I am. So I'm about to tell these people who I am. My name is Elvis Jahuey. Born and raised in Clearwater, Florida. Parents from Hidalgo, Mexico. Basically, we're pretty indigenous. So if they didn't come over here, I would have been a farmer. So like the way I think of it is like I was naturally raised to be a farmer, but right now I'm taking photos. That's about it.
You really think you were raised to be a farmer?
Yeah, that was like my destiny. And then my mom's like, nah.
So you swear?
I swear, bro. She like crossed the border and shit.
Wow.
Took her 2 tries. So that's
Really?
yeah. First time, fucked up her ankle. Second time, she made it. So we out here, taking photos, not going to college. College is dumb. People go to college for photos, and it's like, you don't need that. You don't.
Not at all.
Just fucking take photos. So yeah, the way the journey started, I used to have this whole spiel. So after high school, I was just working full time, no plans to go to college. And my mom's like, "Are you gonna go to college, or what are you gonna do? You're just gonna, fuck around?" I'm like, "I kind of just want to fuck around." And she's like, "Nah, we're not having that. I'm sending you to your uncle up north to work construction." So that was like grueling for me, because that was between 60 hours a week to at one point 90 hours a week. That was for like a month for one job. So I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I was really interested in colors and movies and colors. That's all I would watch like senior year. And the senior year, I only had to do like 1 credit, which was English. And every essay, I fucking found a way to. Oh, I'm not allowed to curse. Every essay, I found a way to like sneak in color or parts about a movie. I would watch video essays all the time. So, work construction up north, 6 months in Ohio. Some in what's that one state nobody gives a fuck about?
Nebraska.
No, Utah. No, not
Utah.
Utah's pretty
Fuck
cool.
you.
No, no. Ohio. No, fuck.
Said Ohio.
Let's go to Ohio.
No, close to Ohio. I can't fucking figure it out.
Close to Ohio.
Close.
Everything's close to Ohio. It's like tri-state.
It is. So yeah.
New Hampshire, Massachusetts. It's a little too far.
Iowa.
east.
Iowa's the worst state I've been at, and it teared me down. Nothing. I was at the capital, Des Moines, and
Even the capital.
even the capital sucked. People were like not turned up. It's terrible. It's terrible time. Well, through that, I discovered that I wanted to create something, and then it just all came to me like just be a photographer and take photos of people. So if I didn't go through all that, work, grueling shit, I wouldn't be here by now. So, and I wanted to film photography because I got a DSLR, and I would just take photos, and I could not focus. I would shoot like 200 pictures of my SD card, put it in, and it's like, well, I don't want to look at any of these. They all suck.
Oh, really?
And then it was terrible. Like, I couldn't focus.
I mean, I know I understand like sucking, but like you thought that quick you sucked.
I thought that quick.
You didn't even think like, oh, I'm the shit. You just thought like this.
It's like, this isn't good. And I saw film. I saw a lot of film pictures on Reddit. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. My bird came and just elongate my bird again. Yeah. This is a point and shoot. So I saw all these medium format shots on a Pentax 6.7. It's like, this looks real. This is awesome. And I saved up and I just bought one on eBay. And I remember it was like an auction, and I was like, kept going up and up and up, and I was on my lunch break, and I was like, fuck, I need this. You know, the universe needs this. So I got it, and then I didn't shoot it for a while because I was just working. And this is a long story. So Pentax 67 film, I wanted to do the whole process, and I wanted to do it all like in hands by myself. Like I didn't want any other people involved, so I had to get my whole setup, my whole studio, scanner, and computer. I already had a computer at home, so I just had to do all that. Everything's on YouTube too. Like everything's on YouTube. I literally just Googled how to develop film, how to scan film, and you just learn as you go.
Google Peter McKinnon, and then you're done.
Yeah.
You're a pro.
You're a pro. Presets? Get all those presets. That's it. Fun fact, I do not use Lightroom. I use Photoshop.
Oh.
To edit.
For everything? Probably because the film influence, maybe?
To convert, the only thing I did in my workflow is to convert a positive to a negative. I just use Lightroom and a plugin called Negative Light Pro, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But that's the only workflow I use. That's the only way I use Lightroom, my workflow. Everything else is Photoshop. Because I use Photoshop, I would create these like fractal design or like 3D things when I was like in sophomore year. I was like
Just mute it, Paul. Just hit the mute button on the keyboard.
So yeah, I just Photoshop, film. I use Google Drive. Fuck Dropbox. I don't trust Dropbox.
No?
No. It's not cool.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like the functioning of it. I use Google Drive for everything.
Yeah.
Do you say fuck Google Drive?
No, I love Google Drive. If Google's like stealing all my security info, but I'm alright with that. You know? Yeah. Just here's everything I own. Here. If I can give them my blood type, I would.
Don't even worry about it. Click on the camera for me. Give me your blood. That's fine. So
Synapses.
I get like your parents like had you move and everything, but like
Right.
what made you want to start photography in the first place? Like, did someone you know do photography? What got you to actually pick up the camera? You like colors and all that, but what you could have gone to painting, you could have gone to sketching, you could have gone to all different things.
Right.
Like, or you could have done videography instead. What made you start to do photos?
Videos I could never like edit them. To be honest, I would record snippets, and I took this one media class in high school, senior year, and I just didn't. I could not sit down and stitch them or edit them. Maybe a little bit, but photos. I had this one phone. It was like the Moto X. I had this 30 megapixel camera.
You're taking it back.
Yeah, the Moto.
Jeez.
And I did 30 megapixels, and at the time I didn't know anything. I'm like, that's a high number. It must be good. So I would take them on my phone, take phone pictures. I remember now why photography. And then one of my good friends, her name was Chloe. She's like an art girl. Still is, but you know, more
She's
back
an
then.
e-girl?
No. Now she messes with hair. Shout out to Chloe.
Oh, okay.
You guided me on this journey. So
Whether
out.
she knows it or not.
Whether she knows it or not. She's like, oh, your photos you posted, like you have an eye. Like you should just keep going with it. You know, at the time I was just kind of like smoking weed, and just like taking photos on my Moto 30 megapixel camera. Did I say it was 30 megapixels? 'Cause it is. And it was some impressive scenes I was pretty proud of. And
Fix your bird, bro.
I gotta fix my bird. Because, like, another part of the film photography, it's all clout. It literally is all clout. If I brought my Pentax and with the wood grip, you're like, this guy's professional. You don't question him. And you see a Canon EOS D, and it looks like generic black box, and it's like, you know, he goes to the local meet and greet, you know, puts his preset on. That's all he does. You see me with a wooden grip though. It's like this guy does something. You know, this guy wants to do something. So it's all clout.
Wooden pistol grip. Oh. Okay.
The extended bird. So yeah, Moto. Chloe told me I have an eye. I kept going with it, honestly. Yeah, it felt natural. So painting, I could not sit down, or you can do anything you put time into. I just
Yeah, of
didn't
course.
put time into painting.
Some things just make you want to put your time into it.
Yeah, some things just feel easier.
So Chloe got you started with kind of just like giving you that extra motivation.
Yeah, inspiration.
Who did you look towards after that? Like, did you ever find yourself like in certain artists? Was there anyone in particular?
Well, my favorite all-time artist is Frank Ocean and Kanye West, obviously.
So you draw inspiration for your photography work outside of photography.
Yeah.
You look at like music and things like that.
I would always find a way. I had this thing where in high school where I would make this playlist, and I would try to match a photo with each song, or have one photo and have the playlist match the song. So I would definitely play a lot of Kanye and Frank. And Frank was a very visual artist. Even when he made music, he would just like use the lyrics and just guide you using your eye, which is very different from normal artists. He was very ethereal, I would say.
Ethereal.
Ethereal. I didn't go to college. College dropout.
Why didn't you go to college? You could have gone to college for photography and all that.
I was at the time. I was like, the mindset of the immigrant family is like, you gotta make something yourself. So just go to business, find something that will get you money, and move up. Don't go for things that feel fun. Just make the most while you're here. That's kind of like the little. I want to say it's pressure, but it kind of is pressure. You're put in this place, and you cannot be average. You have to be more than average, and I think that still pushes me. Pushes my photography, because I tell myself, this is a nice photo, but it can be better. It can be. This is okay, but it can be better. So.
With your influences being a lot of rap, from what I'm hearing, do you photograph rappers and people in hip hop?
Not really. I don't. I photograph people, of course, but friends. I photograph things that are very pleasant to the eye, very things that will make you stare. Like any great music or things like music. If it sounds great, you will listen to it over and over. A movie, if it looks great, sounds great, you will rewatch it, just because those things
I've never watched a movie.
make you want to. You're not a movie buff. I've rewatched a couple movies a lot. 2001: Space. I don't finish 2001: Space Odyssey, but the intro scene it's good. It's good. So with photos, I think take a subject, and I don't like shooting. How can I put this? I don't like shooting things in this male gaze perspective, and the male gaze is like the Transformers. I don't know the artist people, but like how like the hot girl's there and she's like all sweaty, tight clothes, and this is the what the protagonist wants. This is an object, and I go the opposite way. I want to capture someone. Capture their personality, and put it on a photo, and try to describe who they are as accurately as possible. Not just make a photo to just look at it and say, oh, it's a hot girl. I'm not saying that's wrong to do as a photographer. That's very empowering for the model. They have a great ass picture of them, but that's also one thing in the things. Where do you post it? Do you make a photo book? Do you share it on social media? Instagram, it's a battle of engagement. You post this hot model, hot pose, and people will look at it and give you engagement, likes, follows, and it climbs you up the ranks.
Right.
The way I look at it, it doesn't satisfy, or it doesn't move the genre forward. I want to, very not egotistical. I just want to make great things, great stareable art, and and one photo that kind of pushed me to this, made me realize what that was going to a good direction, was my friend June. We're at a museum, and she does makeup. And like you would expect me to take a photo of her face because she does makeup, but she was looking at this one picture of a Keith O'Brien painting of Poppy, and it was like a red flower, and she was wearing this red dress, and the back of her head matched with the flower, like she was part of the painting. And I took that photo and developed it, and was like, wow, this is actually like something like a piece of art you stare at and you keep looking. And you're not even looking at her face. You're just looking at the back of her, but she is the flower. It's something you just stare at, look at, and you can feel something. And I think at the end of the day, I want you to feel something from the photo.
Yeah. I feel like I've known you for going on maybe like getting on to a year now. And ever since I met you, I always definitely got more of an artist vibe, like just across the board with your work, with your personality, and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, some people, they might create art, but they just don't feel like an artist.
Right.
You'll meet them and you'll think like, something's a little different, but like you embody that. So like, when you look at your work, it's clearly leaning into the verge of fine art, whether it's like photographing somebody or something.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the way it goes. I think that's really tight. I think a lot of your stuff will be looked back on, and then people will be like, "Oh shit, this guy was like really fucking great," and whether you knew it or not, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's just really cool. I've always got that vibe straight from the start.
It's being great. I don't know what. Sometimes I think like you're just like your human soul and your body, the ha and ka, separate. Like I'm just a meat, just walking around, going to work, getting bills paid. But I don't think of it that way. I think of like I'm placed on this earth, and I have not a duty, but a destiny. And I saw this one picture. I don't know the source, or I would like tell you, but like your only obligation is to figure out your destiny. And I would just figure out what interests me, what I devote my time to, and it started off with movies. And what movies have the influence on me is, I can talk about movies all day, but it combines sound, it combines visuals, actors, it pulls everything together for this one harmonious message that it wants to come across, or this one perspective it gives you as the audience. And it can or it cannot change your life. And for me, a couple of movies have changed my life, or at least the perspective of how I live my life. Interstellar is a movie about the
Is that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
I think so.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan.
Go on.
About the restrictions of time and how love can transcend. And it sounds kind of cheesy and corny.
Yep.
Very, very cheesy and corny. But there's one scene I think about all the time at the end is this one advanced being that is not bound to time, but is these moments that are like love, and this love the Matthew McConaughey had with his daughter, where the only memory was this one watch, and this advanced being was able to pinpoint this exact moment. And I think about it like not literally, but this perspective that this feeling has a greater, is so great, it transcends. And small stuff like that I carry on day to day, because why not? Why not? What's the worst that can happen if you think about this perspective? At most you'll care more about people, you'll make more memories. Movies just are very strong, ethereal.
I fucked you up on that one. Is that how you look at your work now? Just you trying to transcend just being just a photograph, or just something you see on Instagram?
Something you stare at, and something you have a memory of. Someone told me when they looked at one of my pictures, it was the picture of the model Emma. It was this portrait of her, and she said when she looked at it, like this song came into her mind. And some people, it's Chamber of Reflection. Shout out to her name,
Emma.
No, shout out to Emma and the person who told me. I feel absolutely
You're a fucking
terrible.
good person, whoever you are.
Okay. I recognize people's voices better than names. I'm bad with names, but you told me that this music, the sound came from this picture, and that's what I want. I want this picture to activate some neurons or affect you. I scroll through Instagram and I look at these pictures, and it's like I see these every day, all the time. I want something to stand out. I want something to like kind of yell and be like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at me. And
how do you view the art world in general right now? Like a lot of what people see is just, it's either go to a museum or scroll through Instagram and you're gonna find something.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite artists, Jake Wagner. He's a Texas Dallas, Texas photographer, and this one book he created called Alone Together. He hand binded like the whole book and everything, all handmade, and he sold it. Granted, that's only like pre-orders. I got the pre-order. You know, your boy always ready for the handmade stuff, and that I love that. I love it when it's all, you know, in-house, in studio. You know, you print it, you bind it, you took the photos, you developed it yourself. That's was kind of my goal when I was up north in Ohio. Like, don't just make everything yourself, and then, you know, you put so much more love and, you know, and time into it. You know, it has to be great because you put so much of you into it.
Yeah.
And it's very fulfilling.
So is that how you transitioned? It was sometime in Ohio when you realized that is how you started going from digital camera to film camera?
It was, yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite things about when I go onto your website is there's a project you did. What was it?
Dos Cocos Locos.
Dos Cocos Locos.
Meetup.
Where it's all in film, and if you're on here, open a new tab, go to 𝐿VisYahuey.com.
That's VISELJ.com, VisselJ.com. That's my whole thing.
VisselJ.com.
Yeah, and the whole name. Me and my friend Jackson, I think back in middle school, we wanted to be like music producers, DJs, and in this one website, like you put your name and they gave you this random generator, and I put Elvis Jahuey and it said VISEL. That's your DJ name. So that's kind of how it started.
I always wondered where it came from.
But also, like in Spanish, the way you pronounce Elvis is Elvis. You emphasize the vis, Elvis. So I was like, okay, I'll just put that on forefront.
I got you. But can you tell me a little bit about the Dos Locos Cocos Mocos?
Oh yeah, they're awesome people. Like again, I don't know their name, but they created this, and I think that was the third one. They have these pop-up events where models, photographers, videographers, creative people in general can just like meet up and just have a space where they can just talk and take photos. And I was there, and you know, me being egotistical, like I'm the one shooting film, but there are other people shooting film, as I figured out. But I was the one shooting 120 medium format. And my brother got me a Christmas present. It was a box of film. It was 5 rolls. And I'm like, oh, I don't know when I'm going to use this. And then I heard someone messaged me. It's like, hey, you should go to this event. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show off. I'm going to shoot everything on film. And before that, I bought, shout out to Facebook Marketplace. If you need anything used that, you know, it doesn't hurt that it's used, use Facebook Marketplace. I found this medium format camera. So let's do some facts. So I have a Pentax 6.7, that's 6x7 centimeters, I think, on 120 roll. So this roll is like this, and you only get 10 shots on 6x7. Well, I wanted more shots, obviously. So this is one format called 645, 6 inches by 4.5. You can get up 15 pictures on a roll. So I bought that physical marketplace. The camera, Bronica SQ-RS, something like that. 3 lenses, 2 backs for $300. I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I felt like I was robbing the guy. I'm like, I showed up a little bit late too. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. And I can't remember what he told. I remember what he told me. He's like, oh, it's nothing therapy you can't fix.
Oh, like, wow, that's wow. Creepy.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Thank you for the camera. I think it was all the way in Tarpon.
Makes you wonder what he shot with that camera.
He said he used it like professionally, like before.
Oh,
so
still sounds like
I disinfected the camera.
Yeah, that makes sense.
5 rolls of film, 15 shots. Yeah, so it was like around 75 shots or something like that. I can do the math right now. So I went to the event, and the whole way to people to recognize me, other than my name being Elvis, was like, oh, this guy's shooting film. He can't keep shooting. He only has 15 shots per roll. And it started from around like 8 a.m. till like 12 8 a.m. till 11 or 12. And I went through 5 rolls. It was insanity. So yeah, Jesus awesome Christ. Event. Photographers, models. I met a lot of people through there. And
wait, what was the name of it?
Dos Cocos Locos.
No, the event.
That's it.
Dos Locos Cocos pop up.
Oh, just pop up.
And the brand Dos Locos Cocos have an awesome story because they started off as selling coconuts, and they have a video, but they advanced pretty much to being a media company, which is awesome. And this is awesome. And they recently, it's 2 people, and they recently got married. So I'm just gonna
wow.
They got married. They fell in love in 2020. Rona, what a year!
Well, you can't get married in 2020 now.
Before Rona
This
happened.
must have been in 2019. Oh my god! It does the pandemic affect your photography?
I mean, the way people organize shoots every week. The way I work is ideas. When ideas come to me, I like write them down and I figure out a model. And the way I work with models is like a slow burn process, much like a slow burning film, which is like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I sit down with the model if you have the time. I sit down with the model and I have this one magazine called Boys Don't Cry by Frank Ocean. Shout out Frank Ocean, endless.
He had a magazine?
Yeah, this is awesome. It's like 300 pages.
What?
It's a huge magazine, and it's high quality print.
It's a book.
It's a book magazine. It's got interviews, photos, and
Wow.
So the usual conventional way, which I don't do, is just like talking and saying, "What are you about? What do you do?" Instead I try to make a little coffee date, hang out with them,
Yeah.
and figure out what's their perspective in life. I give them the book and I let them talk about what stands out for them, and then I build this image of them where I try to figure out their personality to match the photo. So it's a slow burn for a whole, just to get one photo done. Like the one with Emma, the first one where I took that awesome portrait of her. Like we went to this coffee place and just the magazine. I just figured out who this person was. I heard about her, didn't know much about her, but that's the process. Slow burn process, get to know this model, and then let my mind kind of build images of how they would be best represented as. Yeah.
Is the goal just to get one photograph?
The goal is to get photos that tell who they are.
So. When you're talking about film, if you get 10 shots, let's just say, you want to do like you want to get a story basically said with those 10 shots.
That would be ideal. But most of the time, it's like, if I get one shot I'm happy with, I call that a successful mission.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 10.
It must be a bitch to get like just the one shot with, let's just say you only go out with one roll.
I love to put the universe. I love to have the universe. I trust the universe to have one shot that I enjoy. So I know there will be one shot that I will enjoy using one roll, and the pressure's on. 10 shots. I have to figure out if I love this composition enough to take the photo.
To continue taking the photo, or just the photo?
Just to press the shutter.
Wow.
I look at the frame and it's like, do I love this enough? Would I print this out and hang it up?
So do you ever get into like a shot and you're about to take it and then you're like, scratch this whole thing?
Yeah, basically.
And the model's like, what the fuck?
No, they're usually understanding because they see my body of work and they see that's all high quality, or I try to make it high quality.
Yeah.
I remember this one shot I had with this model. Went to this park. Her name's Sally, and then she had her friend with her, Jenna, and then we're by this tree, and I was like,
I feel like you're making up names. How could you remember all these people's names so well? All right, you're by a tree.
By a tree, and then I was setting up the composition, and then Jenna was like, her input, which I always appreciate people's input. It's always helpful, and I put everything as a collaborative process. So she said high school portrait or senior picture esque. I'm like, you're right. This is senior picture. I don't like it. And
Yeah.
I knew I didn't like it, but I didn't know why. And then she said, oh, this looks like a senior picture. I'm like, fuck, you're right. Thank you for making me realize it.
And then that made you
Made me
totally change up.
Yeah,
Like, from
kind of
then
change
on,
up
you
this.
said, fuck that. I'm not.
Fuck that.
I'm not doing this type of
We're
shot
gonna
again.
step away. We're gonna step somewhere else. And actually, after we stepped away, it was one section of the field where I took this photo, and I'm very unconventional. I had this wide angle lens. And it's basically a 28 millimeter equivalent on a 35, and I took this close-up portrait of her, and I really loved it. And so when I posted on my Instagram, so things don't work out there, but then we walked away, and I found this perfect spot.
So, what is your big goal?
I just keep making photos, man. I recently been manifesting.
I like
Just having
this
a studio
manifesting.
in
I like
Mexico, right? I have a studio. I have like a development area, printing area, framing area. So I just wake up, I tend to my chickens. You know, I love.
How many
animals.
chickens do you have?
I don't have any, but if I was in Mexico, I'd probably have around six chickens and a lot of plants. I tend to my chickens, tend to my plants. Come back and just make photos, print them out, frame them out, sell them.
Why Mexico? Do you really want to get back to your roots in Mexico?
Roots and cost of living's cheaper. if I can find like streams of income, I don't have to like work much. But then again, there's a whole safety in Mexico because right now it's volatile. You know, it's not dangerous, but I haven't been there in like 15 years. And
Just don't get your chickens from like Sinaloa or something like that.
my chickens are like my security cameras.
One rooster that just goes off all the time.
Yeah.
The fuck stole my eggs?
If I hear like one less chicken, I know something's up.
Somebody got hungry.
Oh my god. So if that's the big goal, what are the steps to get there? Do you do shows? Do you sell your work?
Big announcement. I want to make a photo book really badly. I got inspired by Jake Wagner's Alone Together hand binding, and I definitely want to hand bind some books, limited books, sell them. I don't have a strong concrete idea of what the photo. I think I just want to make photos I've made throughout the year and just stitch them together and sell it. Recently, because of this whole Rona 2020 hashtag unemployed restaurant life, I bought some prints and I'm gonna sell them. So I'm gonna start there. I'm not very I don't market myself much. You know, I guess that's my only drawback. I treat photography as this medium to express myself and therapy. I guess I built up emotions, and this is the only way, not the only way, but one helpful way to put all that into a photo and let the world see it.
So really, it's just letting the work speak for itself.
Yeah.
Once the eyes get on it,
Mm-hmm.
it'll tell its story in its own way.
Yeah.
And interpretation and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to picture you in Mexico with a bunch of chickens right now.
Dude, honestly, I want them all to like follow me, like a mother duck. So all these chickens follow me.
You're just like printing a photo, and all of a sudden one just stumbles in the room.
Yeah, and then he'll be part of the creative process. I take a photo of him. Next thing I know, this chicken picture goes fucking viral.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all of a sudden your portfolio is just gonna be a bunch of chickens.
Bunch of chickens. I don't mind that. Honestly, I'd probably give them like patches. I would design my chickens. Is that fucked up?
I don't know.
Like
No.
paint my chickens.
Oh, maybe.
Have them all different colors and shit.
I was thinking like, oh, I want a brown one, I want a white one, I want a red one. So, is there? I'm just thinking about how you said a lot of inspiration comes from music,
Movies.
from movies.
Yes.
What do you look for in people to photograph them? Are you most interested in figuring out what their story is, or do you have an idea of a person you want and try to find that person for a shot?
Tough question. Very tough question.
I'm full of them.
With people,
So I could see you like finding, let's just say, a rapper or an R&B singer,
right.
and just getting a bunch of their music sent to you, and it's like, okay, now figure out the shot.
Figure out the shot.
Like, what can you do to make this person? I could see you doing cover art for
Uh-huh.
people and stuff like that, just because you'd have a unique perspective.
Yeah. If an idea lends itself to me, and someone tells me, make a photo that embodies this sound, or make a photo that embodies this energy, I'll try my best. But I would say my flavor or thing is like just face portraits of people. But I definitely want to get into like some crazy shit, like Kanye West, Jesus, like that energy of like being like angry at the
Like
companies.
my dark twisted fantasy.
It's kind of like that, but I love Yeezus more because he's just shouting, he's just yelling, he's just like I'm
Like the
angry,
aggressive.
aggressiveness. I definitely want to have like some aggressive photos in the foreseeable future. I want some aggressive photos like by summer. Like it's just crazy off the walls, blood, stuff. Yeah, energy.
Sounds like you need therapy. Maybe that guy was right with the camera.
Get back to the camera.
Maybe he was on to something right now. I guess it just makes you got to put yourself in the right situations to get those photos, right?
Yeah, and
Like if it was
headspace.
candid or something like that, or something.
You know, I didn't know what candid meant like until a year ago.
Just now.
Year ago, bro. I was like, I'm just taking photos. Someone's like, I'll take a candid photo of me. I'm like, Google search candid. Oh,
Quick, act like I know what you're talking about. I do that all the time.
Yeah. Lately, I've been into some Renaissance stuff. Big shout out to 3 movies actually. Phantom Thread, Little Woman by Greta Gerwig, awesome director, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I cannot get enough of this movie.
What is
Yes.
that one about?
Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It is a romance movie about 2 women. So it's a lesbian movie, but it
LGBTQ plus
LGBTQ plus
movie.
very awesome movie. It shows the devotion and love. I'll get into. It's a very real movie, real by the facts that it's kind of universal. You know, someone like me can like strongly relate because this is a very universal human experience. The yearning for human connection, the choreography of meeting someone and having affection and all that process that is very cinematic. Like in this movie, like the why it's inspiring me is the attire design. It's all like 18th century dress, which is, I need to take a humanities class.
This is in a different language.
It's in French.
Oh, I
It's
fucking
in
knew
French.
it. I could tell from the jump.
I can't pronounce it, but it was
Sounded close.
The what?
It's the last movie I saw before the whole Rona thing came out. You know, I saw it 3 times in theaters, and that's a
What movie was it?
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Wait, say it in French.
I can't say it. Portrait of a Lady on
Wait,
Fire.
I'll switch the camera so it's zoomed in.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Okay.
I'm
That's really
really
that's
messing it up.
That's really how you
Messing
say
up.
it. Oh,
No,
shit.
but
I'm about to Google this.
I saw it 3 times in theaters, and there's only
In
like
theaters,
in
all
theaters,
3 times?
3 times.
Jesus.
Not back to
Christ.
back. I wish it was back to back, but I can only bear so much on one viewing because it's
Too
very,
much crying.
yes, it's very human, powerful. I guess that's what connects my work is strong human emotion. You know, I want people to be provoked, and saw it 3 times. Awesome movie. I think they're not showing it anymore thanks to Rona 2020, but it will be out on the Criterion June 23rd. So we have to survive till June.
How does the coronavirus, how is it affecting you directly right now?
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's give us
Obviously,
a jump of
I
it.
can't hit up people for photo shoots. Like, hey, I have this idea. You want to do it? Because like,
Why? I mean,
I don't. Frankly,
We're here.
I don't care. Because I worked at a restaurant, and Lalo knows this. We've probably been exposed to it already. But other people, other people who have like
Fuck.
older family members, like I don't want to be like the asshole to just do a shoot and possibly get their family
you gotta get tested, bro. I've been tested.
You got tested?
No. I'm
Yeah,
just-
exactly. Like, how,
We can't get any tests, bro.
No, that's one thing. It's like all you gotta do is cough in front of a rich person, and you'll get tested.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I haven't got tested, but I think I already had it. I want to say I already did, but what if I have the cure in my own body?
You know, I actually saw something that said that it could last up to weeks in children, and it can show no it could show they can show no symptoms, but it could be in their stool for weeks and you wouldn't even know. That's what makes it so dangerous.
It's like the invisible enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand?
But
I'm just gonna jump into this like
let's jump on it.
political
Let's do it. Let's fuck it.
thing.
It's live.
Is it keeps being called a war. Why
Right.
isn't it just called a natural disaster?
Natural disaster.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Am I right?
Just
There's
trying
war.
to
There's
put-
2 sides.
They're just trying to blame someone. They're trying to blame someone and just You know, something happens, everybody tries to blame someone.
Usually how it goes.
Elvis, are you interested in any kind of political photography in that way, or does that pull you out of the art? Or
I think anything that makes you feel something is art. My views is
you
right
want
now.
to do like
show-
the hatred
the show-
photograph,
the show was fucking
angry
deep.
photographs Trump.
I took this photo of my one of my coworkers, and he has this thing where it's like, you know, Mark, right? Mark, the bartender.
Yeah.
He's always you don't know, go up, and he gets all energy like that. What you mean you don't know, go up? So I brought my little point and shit to work that day, and someone was like, "Hey Mark, what do you know about Go Up?" Like, you don't know Go Up. I took a photo of him like with that angry face, and then the date stamped in. It was like March 17th, and it's like, to me, I guess that's political, showing like human, you know, emotion through this tough time, I guess.
Wait, isn't Go Up Gucci Mane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know Go Up.
I was
So-
like, wait a second.
Political wise, with my work, I try not to get political because I'm a very young age and I don't have all the information to make a solid, you know, point of view.
How old are you?
21.
You're gonna hit me with a 29. I'm not old enough. How old are you? 29.
20. I'm actually 30 right now, bro. I found the fountain of youth. I just haven't told anybody. People always think I'm like 17, like jit. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Did you say jit?
Yeah, jit. Florida slang.
Hell yeah.
Florida boy, flow grown. Born raised Florida.
Has moving to Florida influenced your photography?
Well, I've been born and raised in Florida. So
Well-
moving back to Florida? What do you mean?
Well, how long did you live in Ohio? Because you made it sound like you started this all in Ohio.
Years. No, I went there for 6 months. 6 months.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah.
The whole story, I fucked up. The whole story was like, I was like, man.
I was in high school here,
Ohio?
and then I went there 6 months.
Okay,
Yeah, that was a whole experience.
I got you.
People like I was in Dublin. People went to like, there was no cars on the streets by like 9 p.m. Like what is
Where?
this? Dublin. It's like the very rural, like hot people of Ohio.
Oh, I thought you meant like Dublin, like in Europe or something.
No, it's called Dublin, Ohio.
Okay.
So that's where I resided for like 6 months, and I went to Iowa for a bit. Iowa sucks ass. Iowa's where I started smoking my first cigarette in Iowa.
I thought you were gonna say meth.
No,
Very potent out there.
no, that's Florida. That's Florida. That's Florida. Yeah, so I went for cigarette in Iowa. I was like, man, this state sucks. But one thing that came out of Iowa, I bought these Converse shoes. That's about it. I'm not wearing them right now. But yeah, these white.
That's the
Converse
only
shoes.
thing that came out of there.
Yeah, just white Converse shoes.
So you brought your OP1 with you.
Yes.
Do you make music as well?
I want to get into it, but most importantly, I want to, you know, my dream is still, you know, not just photos, but just to create things that evoke human emotion, which movies do that so well because you grab the audience attention very well. But one more important thing about movies is the sound effects or the background.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the OP1. Want to learn music theory, but also to start delving into sound effects and what sounds can evoke, what specific emotions can this sound make, you know, what
Okay.
mood. So if I were to one day make movies or shoot movies, I have this music device to where I can make sounds.
Does making music with that, or let's just say sounds or an arrangement of different sounds, does that influence is that already influencing your photos? Like, do you, when you're editing or something like that, are you making your own music while you're doing it, or do you usually just flip something on?
Usually I just flip something on. Like lately I've been onto Yeezus, like I said, Yeezus, 𝐂𝐏𝐑𝐈𝐆𝐇𝐓.
Lately, you've been on to Yeezus?
I've
And Kid Cudi?
I've always been Yeezus, but
Now
especially
those things
this
are, like,
time, right
Generally
now,
relevant right now.
Yeezus. But no. Recently, what I done, I recorded the whole audio track for Phantom Thread, this movie, 2.5 hours, and I recorded just the audio, and I put it on my phone. So 2 hours with just the audio, no visuals, just dialogue and sound,
Wow.
and that gives me, you know. It's awesome. It's awesome. A shout out to Phantom Thread soundtrack made by Johnny Greenwood. He's in Radiohead. So I put on Radiohead
Oh, wow.
from time to time. Yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
shout out to Tom York too. He releases one album called Anima, and it's just
Anima?
and yeah, it's almost like anime, but it's Anima. I think. Correct me if I'm
Anima?
wrong, but awesome because it's just like these like background vocals and sounds, and it's just very off the walls. So I like to listen to minimal, sad. Yeah, basically just kind of sad music. James Blake, shout out James Blake. Shout out Frank Ocean, of course, but James Blake, Phantom Thread soundtrack, very slow music, very melodic.
Yeah, when I was with you on a shoot one time, you turned on music and it
Just
was
like
really slow.
Slow, melodic.
Exactly. So do you have anything new coming up? Anything that people can look forward to as far as your work?
Selling prints of one of my work called Home With You. It's this torn down building that was in Clearwater Beach. And I remember driving to work and I'm like, this photo is so awesome. I want to take a photo of it, but I'm going to work.
Uh-huh.
So one day, it was like, I had my day off the next day. So that night, I went home real fast, took my camera, tripod, cable release, and I found this cool-ass angle. It's like half torn down. You can still see some the inside of the room. It's almost like don't touch your face. Like an airport when they do like the X-ray. It's almost like an X-ray of it. And it's this building it's gonna be torn down. It's gonna be gone, but it's like in the moment. So that's at the time I was going through this. Yeah, I say it was heartbreak. It was more like trying to figure out how to get over this person, and this feeling, perfectly. This building perfectly encapsulates what I was feeling.
So what you're gonna
Sell prints.
sell
Soon,
prints of it?
soon, very soon. I just ordered it, so that's gonna be very fun.
Wow.
That's where I'm starting. Like I've only done like I want to say up to 5 like client work, and most of them have been very close, family members and or coworkers. Like,
Gotcha.
I did like a wedding engagement shoot for my bartender Justin. Shout out, Justin and Jess. I went to the wedding. Very fun people. Very fitting people. I love them.
Do you with selling your prints, where can people find it? Is it going to be on your website, or are you going to just do like in person, hand to hands?
I wish I can do hands, but it's Corona time.
It's Corona time.
It's like kind of like that one thing with the whole time. I'm figuring that out. I'm probably just gonna post it on Instagram and just be like, if you want, I'm probably gonna spam my Instagram daily, like
Ship it or something.
Yeah, ship. Or
So
if they're in their area, I'll just like drive to them.
So drop your Instagram handle. What's your Instagram?
VISELJ VisselJ.tiff.
Like a TIFF file.
.tiff file, because every time I scan film, I scan it as a TIFF.
Mm.
Also, shout out to TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival movies. So it's a double entendre. I love double entendres.
Of course you do. Okay, we're gonna close out the interview, man. I appreciate you coming on
Yeah, I could
through
keep talking.
coronavirus and everything.
Corona 2020. Get it tattooed.
On your
Stick and
forehead.
poke.
Just tell everybody real quick, where can they find you on all platforms?
All platforms. On Instagram, visselj.tiff. That's Instagram. On my website, it's visselj.com.
Okay.
And that's it. .com and .tiff. That's all you need to worry about. Just remember visselj.
And you take bookings?
I take bookings. Yeah, if you message me and you meet my price, yes. Because if you try to lower the price, I'm like, no.
Price is going up after this corona
Price is
outbreak.
Going up after this corona outbreak. Yeah,
Hey, well, check out MakeSomeOneEssentials.com. Maybe we can figure out a collaborative piece or something sometime. We got hats. T-shirt just got taken down. We're going to put something new up. We got a whole new drop coming out. And we're going to slash all of our prices because of corona. So if you can't buy clothes, we're going to make it really cheap for you to buy it. MakeSomeOneEssentials.com. Elvis Jahuey with a Y.
Jahuey with a J. Jahuey. Elvis Jahuey.
We're out of here.
Out of here. All right.